So yeah, what you were just saying about like YouTube, where you have videos that are relative to what you're watching come up next.
Yep.
That's kind of true of everything I've seen on YouTube, except for my bloody music. Like, one of my songs was quite a nice sort of chilled out piano kind of in the background song called 10 Feet Tall and Bulletproof, and plug.
Everything comes up after it's Bulletproof Jackets.
No, it's Bullet with Butterfly Wings by, who are they? Smashing Pumpkins.
Right.
So, couldn't be more different.
Sort your tags out, Chris.
Yeah, maybe I should.
Put a bit more things like folk, easy listening, elevator music. Not Smashing Pumpkins.
No, I haven't got Smashing Pumpkins in my tags.
No, I said have a tag that's not Smashing Pumpkins.
Not Smashing Pumpkins as the tag. It's because Bullet's in the title, isn't it? Bullet with Butterfly.
Yeah, you're
Wings.
lucky that that's all you're getting, mate, and not kill cams or Call of Duty.
True. This is very, very true. Right, anyway, this is a SNEWS Button show with all of our pop culture and TV and movie news for the week. Oh, and a bit of gaming as well, perhaps.
Oh, it's getting that time of year, isn't it?
It is. It is. So, yeah, let's get on with it, shall we? Music.
Yes, please.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the SNEWS Button, where we bring you about 40 minutes worth of TV, pop culture, movie, gaming news, and then we'll hit a snooze button and then record another podcast, to be honest. But here we are, trapped in a dungeon for the next hour and a half.
I'll pay good money for these podcasts to only be an hour and a half for my time.
You pay good money if they could only be an hour of your time. It's not like it used to be, though, when we used to have like 2-hour podcasts.
Yeah, but that's fine, because we used to start recording at like 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
It's just slowly got later and later.
Yeah, it's true.
As your child's got older and requires more things, like looking at and talking to.
Well, yeah, there are other factors as well, but you're right. Life gets in the way a bit. Oh, shit, yeah, we need to do an honourable mention as well.
We got some feedback.
We have, actually. So we've got a couple of honourable mentions to chuck in. One of them is from a chap that would like to sponsor our podcast in, well, at least one episode, depending on how we do this. He runs a collectibles company, and he is offering us a figure to use as a giveaway, which is quite cool.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah. So,
I'd probably have waited until the figure, what you'd agreed on something, and the figure had arrived before we start talking about a competition.
Well, I told him I'd give him a plug this week anyway. So his company is Strange World Collectables, and you can find his website on at strangeworldcollectables.co.uk, as it happens. So he's given us a choice of figures, which we'll go and discuss off air, and then we'll let you guys know sort of next week or the week after what we're going to do competition-wise.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, so we'll do the competition and then he'll just send the prize straight out to the winner.
Is there a figure of Ridley Scott going around and ruining other people's franchises?
I like a diorama.
Yeah.
Like, who are the guys that do the really good movie ones? McFarlane.
There's a really good thing in... McFarlane stuff's all right. I'm just imagining, there's a really good bit in the Phantom Menace making of, like, documentary where George Lucas is showing the battle droids to Steven Spielberg.
All right.
And Steven Spielberg's, and he's like, these are our new stormtroopers, and Steven Spielberg's trying to look like interested. You could have a diorama of Ridley Scott going around and going, and this is what we're going to do with the aliens in this movie, and the other directors are going, trying to look really interested in how he's ruining their franchise.
Sounds like a Robot Chicken sketch to me.
Yep. Yeah, Robot Chicken could do that.
If you're listening, what's his name? Seth Green? If you're listening, Seth Green, you're welcome. So yes, Strange World Collectables will be in touch. Go and have a look at their website. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, we'll post a link to it on our Facebook page this week.
We will. Yeah, very, very true. Yeah, look out for that on our Facebook page this week. Speaking of which, actually, there's a couple of things that have happened on our Facebook page this week. Ross, have you been watching it at all?
What the fuck happened with that article about
about Lethal Weapon?
Is that...
It's not been boosted or anything. It's just completely by chance.
But is it because it's just turned up in people's newsfeed and it feels like it's from The Independent?
No, because I tried to recreate that just in case that was the situation by using The Independent to launch another post which did the same as our usual, which is sort of somewhere in the region of 100, 150.
It's weird, isn't it?
And then, we've got
Loads
this
of
one
random
particular
people I've
post
never heard
that's
of.
hit like 4,000 people now.
People don't even
great.
listen to our podcast.
So we'll advertise our podcast on that thread.
Yeah, but hang on. Are they just seeing the initial thread? This is shit podcast material.
Wow, it doesn't
Look,
matter.
if you are one of those 4,000 people and you've just signed up for a podcast, it's not normally this terrible.
Well, you say
Sometimes it's worse.
that. But yeah, so do you know anything about this? Do you watch the show Lethal Weapon, Ross?
No.
No?
No, I don't even like the films.
Do you not?
Nah.
I'm tempted to go and watch it. So
What, the TV show?
the uproar is the guy that's playing Riggs, Riggs has been a bit of a douche on set, and he's like, for instance, something to do with a gun that was put into a set that wasn't supposed to be there, and this gun, I don't know if it fires real bullets, but he's put it in amongst a bunch of guns that fire blanks for a scene, and one of the actors has been hit by a projectile, and it's like literally like luckily like grazed a gouge out the back of their head.
Or a ricochet or something.
Yeah, that's it. And not actually... Well, I mean, we're talking like Brandon Lee territory.
I was going to say, was it Brandon Lee?
So, yes, so the guy's been fired, and they've got another actor coming in who you definitely recognise. I'll show you a picture of him.
Yeah, it's matey from Dude, Where's My Car, isn't it? Stifler.
I don't think I've seen Dude, Where's My Car?
Sean William Scott or something.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Sean William Scott. This guy.
Yeah.
Cool. So, there's been a bit of uproar because everyone's like, no, we can't replace this guy and stuff because he makes the show and everything. However, people are missing the point. The character isn't being recast. They're introducing Sean William Scott as the character's brother.
Right.
So Riggs is still going to be somewhere, but just...
Probably locked away by sounds of
maybe
it.
just taken captive and nobody knows where he is or something like that. So, yeah, that's the actual scenario. I might start watching it.
I don't care.
See what all the fuss is about. I really like the old movies. Well, yeah, except for the fourth one. That was terrible. Maybe I'd just gotten old enough to realise that they were all terrible by that point. Anyway,
I think you'll probably go back and watch. What did I watch? Romance in the Stone. It's not very good.
Oh, God. What's the
You think it's brilliant. It's
Jewel
not.
of the Nile.
Jewel of the Nile is brilliant.
Is it? Is it better?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
It's just a memory. Somebody being trapped in a plane. Is that
Yes.
Jewel of the Nile?
Just Joan.
That's what, sorry.
The guy is like, he calls her something and she's like, no, just Joan.
Oh, yes.
And so he calls her just Joan.
80s jokes. They're a lot like mine.
Yeah, they haven't aged well either. Chris's brand new jokes immediately 30 years old.
Oh dear. And another couple of things that appeared on our Facebook page. So apparently over 100 people walked out of Lars von Trier's latest movie at Cannes.
Oh yeah, I've heard about this. It's
Yeah.
violent, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's about a serial killer, and it's it's the bloke that isn't Ash from The Evil Dead, isn't it? What's his name? Matt Dillon is the star. And what's the actor that plays Ash's name?
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell. Yeah, they look very, very similar.
Hey, just peer behind the curtain quick. We didn't have to look up Bruce Campbell's name.
No, we didn't.
We did the other week though.
No, we didn't.
We didn't. We just went, "Ba-ba, I'm having a really long day at work. I'm half dead at this point."
So yeah, we had a couple of reactions to that post on our Facebook page as well. The question for me really was, is it actually possible to enjoy a Lars von Trier movie? Have there been any for you, Ross? Can you remember any?
I don't know if I've ever seen one. I've always wanted to watch The Cave of Forbidden Dreams or something. Is that what it's called?
Don't know that one.
Because it's just a documentary about like, there's cave paintings in this cave in France and they are so old that they're kept, you can't go in the cave.
Right.
Like the cave's sealed off.
Okay.
And he makes a documentary on it. I like shit like that. I watched a documentary not so long ago about cave divers who were like 150 metres underwater in a cave, and a couple of them died, and then they...
Bit of a theme here, Ross. Something about caves.
Yeah, well, I'm sure I spoke about it on the podcast.
You quite like Descent as well, don't you?
Yeah, that's a good film. Wouldn't get me in one.
God, no. Yeah, but anyway, this movie that he's released at Cannes is called The House That Jack Built. Others you might recognise, Antichrist. Did you see that?
Nope.
That's a crazy movie.
Just assume I haven't seen any of them.
Melancholia, Dogville, Dancer in the Dark with Bjork.
No.
That's
definitely. I wouldn't watch that because Bjork's in it.
Really?
Yeah, I fucking hate her.
I really like that film. I've got the special edition box set if you want to borrow it.
No, because it's got Bjork in it.
Okie doke. You really don't like Bjork that much?
No.
So, John Greenham, long-term listener. Hello, John. Hope you're well.
Hello, John.
To the question, can you enjoy a Lars von Trier movie? Said, I'll say no. I can't think of a film of his that I've seen that I felt the need to watch a second time. Oh, and then we had a Lee Miles, thanks for writing in, Lee, who said he liked Antichrist, but he wouldn't feel compelled to watch it again, which is absolutely fair enough. Bonkers movie. So yeah, one-time watches.
But there's lots of films that are really good and I don't want to watch ever again.
Yeah?
Like even things by good directors or good actors. Like I've got no interest at ever sitting down and watching Shutter Island.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah. But it was a very good film, wasn't it?
Yeah. And there's some shots in it that are fucking amazing. Like the slow-mo or all the prisoners getting gunned down by the soldiers is fucking amazing.
Ooh, can't remember that.
It's like a flashback to the Second World War.
Okay.
And a load of POWs get hosed down, I think, and it's just one continuous track. I don't know, it might be a Steadicam shot, but it's a long sweeping shot that's in slow motion as well. That's brilliant.
Maybe I should watch it again.
Yeah, I'll just watch that bit again.
Yeah, maybe. Cool.
But there's other Scorsese movies I could watch every year if there was time.
Go on then.
Like Casino and Goodfellas.
I've only ever seen each of those once.
Oh, mate, they are films that get better with repeat viewing.
Casino's the one with the baseball bat scene, right?
Yeah.
Joe Pesci going mental with a baseball bat.
No, Joe Pesci gets baseball batted.
Is that the other way around?
Spoiler if you haven't seen Casino.
Spoiler alert for a 20-year-old movie.
Yeah.
At least 20 years, isn't it? 25,
yeah.
I think. They had the anniversary edition last year, didn't they?
Maybe.
Anywho, another thing that was on our Facebook page was the announcement of a new Thundercats cartoon.
Yeah, it's not... The art style's not my cup of tea.
It's, like a Teen Titans Go kind of sketchbooky kind of look to it.
Yeah.
Which, yeah...
Somebody did tweet, though, they said, I don't know what all the fuss is, Thundercats wasn't very good in the 80s either.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't agree with that statement. I flipping loved Thundercats.
Yeah, but I used to love Transformers, but they're almost unwatchable.
Yeah, true. I did buy a DVD box set of Transformers a little while ago, and then I realised when I started watching it that I perhaps should have saved my money and sold it on eBay for quite a loss, unfortunately, to somebody probably smarter than I am. Anyway, so yeah, there were a couple of reactions to that one as well. Adam Gattrell, part-time host of our show.
Oh, that's a bit of a dig, isn't it? Adam, did you hear that?
Hello, Adam. Hope you're well, mate.
Bit of a cunty
Enjoying the
little
library.
thing to say.
Bit of a what?
Bit of a cunty little thing to say.
I'll have to cut that out though, won't I?
Knives in the dark.
Yeah, he said he thinks the previous reboot was fantastic, and I agree with him, actually. Did you see it?
No, is this the one where they're back
one?
on starts where they haven't had to leave?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's all on Thundera.
Planet.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all on Thundera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole lot. I think. Hope that's right.
Remind me, why did they have to leave Thundera?
Because the world was ending.
Just a Superman thing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Just...
why did they land on the one planet with the ever-living source of evil on?
Just happened to be.
Pick a different planet.
It's Earth, isn't it?
It's not Earth.
Isn't it?
No.
What do they call it? What's the...
Don't know. It's not Earth.
You sure?
Yeah, it's definitely not Earth because there's like no humans. There's some weird mechanical pirates, a big green blob, and Mum-Ra, the ever-living source of evil.
I always just took it that it was Earth. Anyway, Adam Gattrell says that he thinks the previous reboot was fantastic and he doesn't understand why they cancelled it. Plus, the hipster creating this show does not give me hope that it will be any good. And Lionel's voice. Well, I've not seen the trailer yet, so I can't comment on that. But Jamie Hayward as well, long-term listener and hopefully repeat guest. Come on, Jamie, we need you back in, mate. He said he thinks it's great that they're bringing Thundercats to a new generation of kids. But I hate Teen Titans Go, so I don't think this will be for me, but my daughter will love it. Which
Yes, remember these cartoons are made for children first and you second.
It's like Star Wars. When you don't like Star Wars, you got to remember it's made for 12-year-olds.
Wrong.
It's not wrong.
Factually incorrect.
It's not factually incorrect. Star Wars was designed.
False.
Star Wars was designed for 12-year-olds. Look it up. So yeah, Thundercats is on the way in 2019, whether you like it or not.
And you can also choose not to watch it.
This is also very, very true. I'm going to give it a go, though. I'll give most things a go, to be honest. But there you go. Right, do you want some box office news, Ross?
Yeah, okay.
Do you want to know? Actually, can you guess what's number one at the box office?
Deadpool.
It is. Did you see this on the news?
No, just guessed.
Uh-huh. It is.
You tell me the box office every week.
I do.
When we podcast, so I'm getting quite good at. Well, you do, no. First, you tell me the week's box office, the previous week's box office, and then you tell me what's coming out. So then I go, I can deduce from these two facts what is the correct answer.
Fair enough. So yeah, Deadpool 2 has actually kicked Avengers' arse, which surprised me. I've got to say, because Avengers was ticking along quite nicely at sort of 100 and 200 million a week for 3 weeks. And then Deadpool comes along and takes 300 million worldwide in its opening weekend.
Is that because everybody who's seen Avengers has just gone and seen Deadpool straight away?
Probably.
Literally.
Certainly sounds like it, doesn't it? Do you think we're getting to the stage where we can realise the maximum number of people that will go and watch a film?
The question you've really got to ask there is, are they building enough cinemas in rural China and India and Africa for the volume of people to be able to see these movies is increasing?
Yeah.
No.
Not
Really.
No, this is very true. We've got a lot of areas of the world still to develop as well.
And if you actually look, the only place people are being born are in these undeveloped areas.
I was reading something about that the other day, about how our birth rate in the modern world has decreased quite sort of substantially.
Yeah, but that's good though, because nobody should be having children.
This is true. We don't have the room. Give it up. So yeah, it launched with Deadpool 2 launched with 53 million on its opening day, and it took 125 million domestically over its 3-day run, which is enough to become the second largest R-rated opening ever, behind Deadpool 1's 132.4 million debut, and just ahead of Stephen King's It.
I guess Disney are looking at this curve and going, we'll have some of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they'll be able to soon, won't they?
Has it not
It's all
all gone
theirs.
through?
No, June or July, I think. The merger.
But what I'm
goes
saying
through.
is they're not going to start fiddling with the formula. They're going to go, our R-rated movies can and will work.
I hope they do something to fiddle with the formula with regards to how this franchise is connected to others. And I'll talk about that more in our review show, because I saw Deadpool 2 over the weekend.
Did you?
I did. So yes, looking ahead with Memorial Day weekend coming as well for America. That'll be interesting to see how things pan out, because Deadpool 2 will start to have some competition from not only Avengers Infinity War, but also Solo, a Star Wars story. And that's debuting in over 4 million locations. So that kind of gives it a pretty good head start.
I think that's going to be Star Wars' first acid test, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, it's getting fairly good reviews.
But it's going to be the first... I think you might see a little decline in the money.
As in their average take for a Star Wars film.
Yeah. I think it's going down anyway, isn't it?
Well, no, Rogue One did very, very well, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's all relative, because they all did fucking ridiculously well. But I think if you look at the...
the original Star Wars is still in the top 10 of all time, though, isn't it? If you adjust for inflation.
Yeah, but it's been out 40 years and got released at the cinema about 10 times in those 40 years as well, hasn't it?
True, but I've got to wonder whether or not the rights have always been with Fox, haven't they? Up until recently.
The distribution rights, yeah.
So, yeah, Lucasfilm would have been taking the major part of
the biggest slice of that.
The biggest slice of the money over all those years. Anyway, if we want to know how the charts look for the week, we've got Deadpool 2 at number 1, Avengers Infinity War at number 2, Book Club, whatever that is, at number 3, Life of the Party at number 4, and Breaking In at number 5. And A Quiet Place, you might want to know that's all the way down at number 8 now, Ross.
Yeah, it's been out a while now and costs fuck all to make. So yeah. I think it's had a very good run at the cinema.
It has had a very good run at the cinema.
Not bad from a guy from Dunder Mifflin.
Where's he from?
No, Dunder Mifflin is the name of the company from The Office.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's their version of Wernham Hog.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Do you think that's because Wernham Hog sounds like gibberish to them, so they gave it a really, really weird name?
Well, yeah, Dunder Mifflin just sounds like it's like an Americanised version of Wernham Hog, isn't it? Watch that show. It's fantastic. I've been watching outtakes on it on my lunch break and YouTube clips, and it's so good. It's fucking hilarious.
I've got to admit, I've never seen it. There's a dog barking outside our window. Wonder if you can hear that at home.
Mate, the new one earlier was a fucking pigeon cooing on the roof.
What, here?
Yeah.
I missed that, no.
I think you were talking. I've
got headphones on, you haven't. Perhaps that's why. Right, anyway. TV stuff. Ross, you'll like this. The Lord of the Rings TV show.
Yep.
It's going to be focusing, as it happens, on young Aragorn.
Son of Arathorn.
Yes. Or at least the first season is.
Heir to the throne of Gondor.
That's correct. So his story, there's some of his stuff in like the appendages at the end of the book.
He grows up in Rivendell, but then he joins the Dunedain. Is that him? He basically becomes a ranger, which all the last of the Númenórean bloodline roam around all the northern parts of Middle-earth, like north of Bree and the Shire, keeping trolls and orcs in check and stuff.
Right, okay. Just hacking them to bits. Turning them to stone with sunlight. That sort of thing.
That sort of thing.
Cool. I mean, we were kind of talking before about the fact that it could have been the Silmarillion they were doing. The fact that they specifically state that the first season is going to be young Aragorn. There's a possibility that it could be kind of more like an anthology show, and each season might focus on different parts of the appendages, something like that, because there's quite a lot of material there. Appendices?
Appendages, that's an appendage.
Oh, my arm's an appendage.
Yeah, appendices.
Appendices. Well done.
It's plural for appendix.
I've had mine out.
Fuck. And here they are. I need a what's it called? What is it? A roll and a crash?
Rattlesnake and a... What's the old thing? A rattlesnake and something? Badum. Can't remember. Anyway. So, I've forgotten where we were. Oh, yeah, so what do you think? Anthology show. Does that sound good?
I don't. I'm fairly indifferent at this point.
The
best bit will be if they get Wetter to do it all and they shoot it in New Zealand. And they'll be right up in that shit.
You're on board anyway, aren't you?
A little bit.
Yeah. I think they're spending enough money on this, and they're talking about using the old sets and the old equipment and the weapons and stuff. So it's going to fit in with the films, tonally, in all sorts of ways.
Yeah, if you've sat on a plane for like a whole 2 days, no, it's 24 hours and 2 days of time passes, and have been to Hobbiton, I think you're fairly on board.
Did you go to Hobbiton?
You can't go to New Zealand and not go to Hobbiton.
I went to New Zealand and didn't go to Hobbiton, I've got to admit.
Was it open as a...
Yes, it was. Because
it wasn't open straight away, was it?
I went in 2006, if I remember rightly.
Because they basically... The other thing is they did it up for The Hobbit, didn't they?
Did they?
Yeah, they made it a bit more robust.
Okay.
And like the pub's real.
Oh, you can go and have a drink in the little Hobbit pub.
A pint. You can have...
Is it a thimbleful?
It's a fucking half pint. No, because it's to scale.
Yeah.
Yeah? You wouldn't have a thimble full. You have a pint. If anything, everything's bigger.
Oh, I see.
So if you went to...
so it makes you feel like a hobbit. Is that the point? Oh, of course.
Yeah, so...
Because the set's been built large to make the people look small. Right, yeah.
No. The set's been built just 1-to-1.
Right.
So a hobbit hole door is a size of a normal door.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a human's going to go to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's things like the fruit and vegetables and stuff. They're oversized,
of course, yeah.
because they still grow just A pumpkin is still a pumpkin.
But when you go and have a beer, though, they serve it to you in a massive...
No, of course they don't.
Like a schooner or something. Not a schooner. What's the word?
No, because it's a Hobbit
the German
pub, so
thing?
it's just a half a pint.
What's the German thing?
Stein.
Stein. That'd be more fitting, wouldn't it? If you ask for a pint, you'd get one of those.
No, you'd get a Stein in a pub in Brie because you're little and it's...
Yeah, but I don't think you get what I'm saying. So as a human being, you go to Hobbiton and...
No, because it's to scale for you. When you're in Hobbiton, you forget you're a human and think you're a hobbit.
But you'd still be asking for a pint. So if they were to give you a pint that was scaled up, or
no, see, this is what I don't ever get in the movies. They do this. He goes to the bar in Brie and comes back, and they're like, "What the hell is that?" And he goes, "It's called a pint."
Yeah. And
then it makes me just go, "Well, what do hobbits drink? What is a measure? A hobbit measure?
A toe, a finger."
Don't know.
A jigger. That's a good one. That's a popular word, that one.
It's a bit too close to a word you can't say. So,
oh dear. No, honestly though, jigger. There's more uses for the word jigger in the English language than there are. Well, I don't know about all other words, but it's very, very popular. So you get like a pub measurement, a policeman's helmet. All these things that have got a slang term for them, which is jigger. Yeah. And the Chinese use it as well. So,
sorry, just run that by me again. Jigger is just a name for an undetermined measure of alcohol.
No, it's a specific 25ml, or, well, in actual fact, the thing that you use to measure the alcohol with is called a jigger.
Right.
You know those little measures that are on the back of the bar? Yeah, that's a jigger. There you go. Every day's a school day.
But a jigger can be any amount?
Yes, but of course, their weights and measures are involved, so... They're always specific quantities, so it's always going to be a 25ml or a 35ml or multiples thereof, depending on where you're drinking.
Oh, it just reminded me of booze in America. There's just no such thing as a measure.
Is there not?
It's insane.
They just pour.
Like in Vegas,
just free pour everything.
You ask for a vodka soda, and it's like, quite often it'll come in as close to a pint glass, and it'll just be half a pint of vodka in there.
Shit me, really?
Yeah, it's always like 50-50.
Wow.
Yeah, we went out one night and I got so drunk and I had 2 drinks.
Really?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Literally, you just don't need any more.
I was not old enough to drink when I went to America, I have to admit, but maybe I'll go back. Speaking of horrendous drunks, do you like Alfred Pennyworth, the butler of Batman?
He's okay.
Would you like a spin-off TV show?
No, what the fuck? Who does? Nobody.
Apparently the makers of Gotham have got the go-ahead to do a spin-off TV show. But in actual fact, we say spin-off, it's going to be set in the 60s. It's going to involve Alfred going to London with Bruce Wayne's father. But yeah, so it's set in London. So what can you do with Batman characters? Do you know enough about the universe?
No.
There's only one set of people that I can think of that could... in any way, shape or form, be connected to London. And that's the Court of Owls. Do you know about them?
No, the Penguin's from London, isn't he, in the video games?
Oh, is he? What, in the Telltale one?
No, in the Arkham Asylum one.
Is he from London?
I'm sure he's got like a Cockney accent.
Can't remember. It's been such a long time.
It's Nolan North's the voice actor, the same guy who plays Nathan Drake.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm sure he's like... Or is it the Telltale one? It might be the Telltale one.
Who knows? Who knows? Don't know.
But who cares?
But yes, maybe Court of Owls, that could happen because they killed Alfred's father, if I remember rightly. And maybe his mother too. Maybe she's called Martha. Who knows?
Martha.
But he is a former SAS soldier. I don't know if you know this, Ross, or whether it really matters to you. What might matter to you, though, I'll tell you what. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
The bad news first.
You can have the good news first. The good news is that they've renewed Gotham for another season.
What's the bad news?
The bad news is it's the final season. Have I got those the wrong way around?
Yeah. I don't care.
Yeah, I didn't think you would.
Mate, I don't even get to the cinema to watch the big budget superhero movies, and we're talking about superhero TV shows.
Young Bruce Wayne has started being Batman.
Has he?
In the show, or a bit Batman-y, I should say. Wearing a cape and running around and doing stuff on rooftops.
In my mind, I just imagine it's the guy from Role Models. He's just started wearing a cape.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the little geeky chap that's in Superbad and stuff as well, isn't it? McLovin, that's the one. So, yeah, look, moving on from this, Sean Pertwee, it will not be reprising the role for this Alfred spin-off. So don't get your hopes up. Sounds like it's going to be terrible to me.
Yep, sounds pretty bad.
While we're talking about DC stuff, Batwoman is coming to the CW universe because, well, they can't have Batman, so they're going to have Batwoman instead.
Why are they not allowed Batman?
Well, I suppose he's worth too much, and they don't tend to put bigger properties on the CW shows, which is why you've got Arrow and Supergirl and The Flash, despite the fact that we've got a big budget version of The Flash on the way.
But who decides that the Green Arrow is not worth as much as a Green Lantern?
No idea.
That's weird, isn't it?
I suppose popularity, comic sales and stuff might have a governing, might be determining factors. Do you think?
Yeah, I'm so not into any DC characters apart from Green Lantern.
Fair enough.
Because Batman's oversaturated, isn't he?
Yes, I suppose.
I find
Superman that way.
and Flash a bit boring.
I find most DC characters a bit boring, and it takes a really good representation of them to really get me on board. That's why I like Chris Nolan movies. They were cool.
Yeah, they're not cool.
But we've not had a... Well, in actual fact, I did quite like... Fuck it, no, I'm lying. I like them all. I've liked all the DC films. Not loved, but
it's like
I've
when everyone goes,
them, you know?
but look at all Batman's villains, they're brilliant. And it's not that they're all brilliant. He's got so fucking many that 90% of them are shite.
There are some terrible ones.
And then there's like 10 amazing ones because of that.
Yeah.
For every Clock King, or what's the ketchup one called? Condiment King.
Condiment King, that's the one, yeah.
You've got that guy, Clayface.
Yep.
Yeah. But that's why everyone's like, oh, Batman's roster of villains is so good. Yes, because he's got 4,000 of them and 3,995 of them are bullshit.
That's a good point, actually. This reminds me of the Joker on the Gotham TV show. I don't think they're allowed to use the name, the Joker. So, and it's really weird how they've gotten to the character, because, like, there's been this bloke on there, and he's been slowly going nuts over the course of 3 seasons. And everyone's been going, yep, this guy is going to be the Joker. And he's gone insane, but then it's kind of some sort of genetic predisposition that's made him go insane. That character has then died, and his brother has turned up, who also has this obviously it's his twin brother, and he's got this the same condition, same genetic condition, and is batshit crazy, and he is becoming the Joker. But they can't call him the Joker. It's just fucked. It's weird.
So fucking point. It's just like, eke every last penny out of everything. And then people on the internet are going, oh, I'm just wanking so hard over it. Just go outside, you idiots.
Yeah. Go fly a kite.
Everybody listening to this podcast is unsubscribed.
Please don't go.
He's talking about me. I like Gotham.
Anyway, yeah, we better move on before we lose all of our listeners. Robert Downey Jr. is going to host an AI docu-series. Would that interest you, Ross?
Yeah, that sounds cool.
It's for YouTube Red.
Yeah. Or as we call it in this country, the Pirate Bay.
Yes, very, very true. And it's going to be discussing like AI from the beginning up till now. And it's going to be produced by him and his wife, apparently.
That sounds really good.
It's called Engadget, and it's going to be on YouTube Red in 2019. I think YouTube Red stuff, we can just pay to view it here, can't we?
Oh, can we?
Yeah.
I've never even thought about
Matt,
it.
that was on the show a few weeks ago, paid for Cobra Kai, for instance.
Right.
So,
okay.
Yeah. YouTube have got a lot of money to spend at the moment, so this is one of quite a few shows to expect. Who knows? We might get a Cobra Kai sequel as well, because that's quite good. But more about that in our review show again. Guillermo del Toro is working on an anthology horror series.
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
Yeah, that interests you.
Give me some of that.
That's Netflix. No premiere date or anything like that yet, but probably like 2019 or 2020. With him directing some of them, but working with other people that are in the horror business.
Yes.
So yeah,
if it's as good as like Black Mirror, it'll be sublime, won't it?
Yeah, and Netflix are quite good at that sort of thing. Well, they took on they did a very good job with Black Mirror, didn't they?
Oh, it's fantastic.
That last season.
it's hard to say this because, you know...
Oh, it was 2 seasons with them,
British
wasn't it?
product and that, but it's so much better.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really good. It's not so much better. It's just
Ramped up,
is better,
isn't it? It's huge, like real ramped up quality-wise.
You get A-list actors and all of the high budget stuff you get, and then Charlie Brooker still writes some of the episodes.
Yeah.
At least to come up with the story.
Definitely still got a foot in the old door. Is that the right phrase?
And it's and I bet they make it in a similar style to I don't know what's a good example. Like, you know, the Animatrix they were just given to different production companies to just go. I think Black Mirror is probably made like that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
they look so like you're better off just getting a different DP and production company and director and cast and everything for each episode, and then they're so vastly different.
Hand it over to a completely different team that don't know each other, and off they go. Go and sit in a black
they might
room
use
together.
the same company to do the post and because there's a...
That'd be really interesting, actually, wouldn't it? Right, here's our script, here's our idea. You guys go and take that, do something with it.
Yeah.
Come back in 6 months and we'll see what you've got.
Well, he probably gets... Charlie Brooker probably gets actors and directors coming to him and going, can I make something? And he'll go, oh, I've got this story. It's just right up your street, Ridley Scott. It's called How I Fucked Up Aliens.
Yes. Ow! I can't do your Ridley Scott voice.
Yeah, fucking hate aliens, so I'm going to ruin it for everyone else. Yeah.
While we're on Netflix, though, Lost in Space has definitely been renewed for season 2.
I need to start watching this.
You should go and watch it.
It's basically Mass Effect, but for a family, isn't it?
Yeah. It's very good. I enjoyed it.
There's even a Geth in it, isn't there?
A Geth? Oh, the robot.
Yeah.
It does look like a Geth. Yeah, it's very true. Very, very true. Detroit, Ross, that's coming out this week. Moving away from TV stuff. Comes out this weekend.
Yep.
Looks like a bloody good game to me.
It won't be super actiony.
What's the premise? It's like
basically,
it's like the TV show Humans,
it's
right?
By a company called Quantic Dream, who are they're not owned by Sony, but they basically are. All their last 3 games have only come out on PlayStation.
Right. Have they done any, what are the other games?
Sorry? So their game before that was Beyond Two Souls.
Right.
And the one before that was what's it called? The one with the origami killer. Heavy Rain.
Heavy Rain.
And
is that the one that's like open-ended? Well, at least there are several different ways the story can go.
Tens of ways.
Right.
Scenes can finish and then the game can end.
Oh, right.
Like Heavy Rain's about a serial killer.
Okay.
And about a detective and an independent person trying to find the answer to that. Beyond Two Souls, which is free on PlayStation Plus this month.
Ah, yes. I've got that in my library.
Yeah, give it a quick whizzle if you think you're going to like that sort of game.
Okay.
And
I started playing the other one, actually. We'll talk about that in the review show, too.
The Rayman.
Mad Max. Oh, no, that was last month.
Yeah, that was last month. It's a good game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a bit like the Channel 4 show Humans, isn't it?
Yes.
It's basically about AI being a thing, and then how do we treat AI like androids real people? Do they have feelings and stuff? There's stuff, by the sounds of it, there's stuff that's been nicked off of things like AI, the movie with one Spielberg finish. Yeah, Jude Law, the one Spielberg finisher.
Yeah.
Because that's about a future where androids are everywhere, isn't it? And they just end up on scrap heaps and stuff.
I really like that film. Who started the film? It was the guy that did 2001: Space Odyssey. What's his name?
Stanley Kubrick.
But
Detroit, I think the demo is the first scene in the game,
right?
And you can get multiple endings for that scene as well.
So,
and then if you go on to buy the game, your progress carries on as well.
Is this the abusive parent one?
I think so.
Okay, so basically, to describe that scene, then you're taking control of the AI, the android, and the father is being abusive to the daughter of the family. You're the only other person or being in the house, and you make decisions that will affect the outcome.
Yeah.
Of that story, that specific part of the story. Does it look to you as if it jumps around different androids.
It's definitely different characters,
So
which
it's gonna-
Heavy Rain did.
So it'll,
as well.
it'll all accumulate.
Characters can die, and then you just never beat them again.
Oh, right, I see.
Yeah.
Cool. Is Heavy Rain worth my
Like
time?
they don't know how many possible endings there are to the game.
Right. Oh, what, the developers don't?
The developers don't. They
Wow.
lost count.
Is Heavy Rain worth my time?
Heavy Rain is... Yes, it is worth your time.
Okay.
But you've just got to bear in mind how old it is now.
Okay. So
But
perhaps I'm
it
better off
is-
just jumping straight into Detroit, do you think?
Oh, yeah. I think if you played Detroit, you probably wouldn't be able to go back.
Right.
It's a bit like it'd be hard to play Uncharted after playing Uncharted 4.
Right.
But it is... The story's cool because it's about a serial killer and stuff.
Cool. Anyway, yeah, look, Detroit comes out on Saturday, this weekend. Are you going straight in there? Are you buying it straight off the bat? Or
No, I've got too many other games that I haven't even started yet.
Right, fair enough.
That I want to play, like Bloodborne.
Oh, yeah. I've got
Like,
that too.
that's
'cause
free
that
a
was
couple of
free.
weeks ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, anyway, let's move on. Star Wars. Did
Yep.
you like a bit of Star Wars, Ross? It's really,
Yeah.
really... this amused me the other day when I saw it pop up on Screen Rant, their website, when I was looking through news headlines. And they said, yeah, newsflash, Obi-Wan Kenobi movie is rumoured to be a New Hope prequel.
Oh, just go away. Nobody wants this.
Yeah, but isn't that a bit kind of... Of course it's a prequel to A New Hope.
Well, it has to be.
Exactly.
It can't be anything but a prequel to New Hope.
So
Or
yes.
is it, spoiler alert for Star Wars, 40 years old, is it Force Ghost? Is it Obi-Wan Kenobi the Force Ghost the movie?
Now that would be interesting.
It'd be fucking boring, wouldn't it? It's not as boring as sitting around Tatooine making sure Luke Skywalker doesn't get eaten by Tusken Raiders, is it?
Yeah, that's basically the premise of the film.
It's already they've already spiced it up too much in the comics, which are canon now.
Right, I see.
Like there's every sort of few months in the Star Wars comic, there'll be from the Diaries of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it'll be like, I had to secretly help Luke Skywalker without revealing my presence to him on Tatooine.
And it's always stupidly...
And Luke's always a little whiny dick, a bit like his dad at that age.
Is it always outlandish? Like
Oh, of course it is. It's 'cause
crazy,
it's a fucking
massive
comic
things?
book, isn't it?
Right, okay.
It's like Darth Vader ends up with like this, not an apprentice, like this woman who works for him, and she's got two droids, and they are brilliant, but she's got these two droids, and they're just C-3PO and R2D2, but they're black and they're assassin droids. But obviously the protocol droid reads, he reads in a really in that butler style, but he'll be like, may I exterminate him now, very slowly with this hot poker and things like that. And it's just quite a funny character. But you just go, it's just bullshit because it's just a comic.
Right, I see.
But then it's canon.
Fair enough. Look, it's happening. We are getting an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, but we're also getting a Lando prequel based on the successes
don't
of
care.
that character. So, yeah, apparently there are a bunch of people that have gone a bit nuts because, Lando Calrissian is bisexual. And I just think, what the fuck? Why are you worried about that? If it's okay for, like, Captain Kirk would go off and have sex with any alien he can possibly get his hands on, and then Lando Calrissian likes to have sex
Let's
with
be
a bloke
honest,
occasionally.
Lando is the
Weirdos.
closest character in Star Wars to matey from Game of Thrones. Anyway, isn't he?
Prince Duran, was that his name?
Yeah,
I
the
know
Viper
exactly what you
of
mean.
Dawn.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, like they're fairly similar characters, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, he probably does go to the brothel and just goes, I'm Lando, I'll just take you all. And you. I know you're only working here, but hop on.
What do we have here?
All of them.
So yes, we're getting a Lando prequel as well, so we'll look forward to that being announced at some point. That's the snooze button. One more quick thing then, Ross. Zombieland. Would you be interested in a sequel?
Yeah,
It's coming, mate.
because zombies that are irreverent and funny are better than The Walking Dead.
Fair dinks. 2019, October 2019 to be specific, and it looks like we've got Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone and Abigail Breslin all on
back.
board, which is cool.
Who's going to have the ridiculous cameo? Donald Trump. That'd be hilarious, wouldn't it?
As long as he gets killed and turned into a zombie, yeah, it'll be fine.
It's not far off either of those things, is it?
What? Death?
Being dead or a zombie.
I thought you meant killed for a second. Do you know something we don't?
Maybe.
Moving on. Right, some trailers ever so quick. Did you see any trailers this week, Ross?
No. No, no, that was last week, wasn't it? The Queen one.
No, that's this week. So the Queen one's right at the end. But we can do it now.
Let's do it now. Okay. Talk to me about Bohemian Rhapsody trailer.
There's a Bohemian Rhapsody trailer, Ross.
Looks fucking brilliant, doesn't it?
It does look very, very good, doesn't it? With Rami Malek playing Freddie Mercury, of course, and doing a very good job of it by the looks of it.
Yep.
He's been talking more about the role and stuff, and apparently he had to do loads of like performances in front of the actual surviving members of Queen.
Fuck.
Yes.
How'd you do that?
Yeah, with your bloody balls in your mouth. I don't know.
It's funny you should say that, because all I remember, like, you know, Will Smith played Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
He was like, he had to meet Muhammad Ali. Like,
right.
Muhammad Ali was coming on set to meet him, and he was shitting himself.
Right.
Because it's the same thing, isn't it? It's like, how do you play Muhammad Ali, one of the most enigmatic people that's ever been, like, of the last 100 years? Yeah. And the only way he could do it was he had to be Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
And he said that's the only way I could do it. I couldn't meet him as Will Smith. I had to be Muhammad Ali and be cocky enough to meet Muhammad Ali.
Right.
And be able to pretend that I could be him. This is quite clever, isn't it?
I mean, these parts, Rami Malek said this actually in interviews recently about, you know, parts like this define you and your career from here onwards. Like, if you do a shit job of it.
Oh, yeah, it's game over for him. I bet he thought long and hard about taking that job.
Yeah, it sounds like he was pretty terrified by the idea. But I'm glad it's him and not bloody, what's his name, that plays...
Ali G.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he'd be fucking fantastic.
I'm glad it's him and not Sacha Baron Cohen.
Really?
Yeah. I don't like Sacha Baron Cohen. I can't take him seriously. And this is going to be quite a serious role, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
So, and Rami Malek's very good at serious. I don't know if you've seen Mr. Robot yet, but...
Yeah, I've seen bits of it, a little junkie.
It's worth a good delving into, mate.
I might have seen all of season 1.
Ah, okay.
It's a bit ploddy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit...
But my mate Craig, who promised to come on this podcast but never does,
Hi, Craig.
Because he's so busy, he got so busy he even stopped listening to the podcast.
Wow.
He worked like 7 days a week for like 6 months or something.
As long as you're still subscribed, that's fine. It's not a problem.
Yeah, he thinks it's fucking fantastic.
Have you got an idea of where the story's going yet? If I say Chuck Palahniuk to you,
No idea.
no idea. Do you know who Chuck Palahniuk is?
When does Christian Slater just push him off the seawall?
Yeah, I think that might be at the end of season 1.
The end of season 1.
Yeah,
That's as far as I've got then.
right. Okay, you need to watch some more.
Okay.
It's very good. I won't say any more about Chuck Palahniuk, but those of you out there that know what I mean, there's a puppet comedy coming, Ross, and it's called The Happy Time Murders.
Yep.
And do you remember that movie Bright that everybody slated, but Adam loved for some reason?
Which is weird because Adam fucking hates everything.
Yeah, it looks like Bright, but the orc character is a puppet.
Right.
And it's made by the Henson Creature
Right, okay.
Workshop. So also like...
so it's not puppets like the Muppets funny. They're like semi-real puppets, or...
No, they look like the Muppets.
Right, okay. Then don't look like a Dark Crystal.
Not like the Dark Crystal.
Right, okay.
So yeah, traditional Jim Henson type stuff.
So they look like felt as opposed to Salacious Crumb.
Exactly. So it's going to feel a bit more like that. What's that show called? Avenue Q? Have you seen?
Don't know.
The one with...
Is that the musical?
The internet is for porn.
Yeah.
The internet is for porn. This is why
Never
the
seen
net
it.
was born. Nor have I. I know some of the songs.
Or that old Peter Jackson movie.
Oh yeah,
Meet the
Feebles.
Feebles.
Although that doesn't have human characters in it, does it?
No, I don't know.
They are all...
It is just a take on the Muppets, isn't it?
Yeah, basically. Adult Muppets. So yes, there's a Red Band trailer for this movie out now. Go and have a look at it. It looks very interesting.
Okay. I'll
Bright
check it
with
out.
puppets. It's There
And
you
I
go.
guess it'll be on our Facebook page, won't it?
It will be, along with all of these. Sorry to bother you. I don't know if you've seen that.
Not a problem.
I don't know if you've seen that. Any trailers for Sorry to
Nope.
Bother You? It's about a guy that works for a call centre company and works out like the way to be ultimately successful. And it's just one of these weird kind of like a being John Malkovich type movie.
Right.
Off the wall.
Bit weird.
But it looks fucking incredible. The trailers are brilliant. They've got very, very genius ways of getting the text to tell you about the movie into the trailers. Go and have a look at the trailer and you'll see what I mean.
Just slightly to drag it off topic, has the little Making Matt Damon Tiny movie come out yet?
Yes, that's been and gone, yeah.
Has it?
Yeah. What was that called? Downsizing.
Right, okay.
So that's probably available illegally, I imagine, by now. I might go and have a look, actually. We want a movie for tonight, so it's worth a look. If it's on the review show next week, you know why. Sense8, that's got a new trailer for the series finale. There's a full trailer for the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt season 4 as well for fans of that show. Mission Impossible Fallout, that's got a new trailer.
I don't watch that because I'm on board for that.
Yeah.
I'll just go and see that.
You'll go to the cinema for that, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Mile 22, you liked Deepwater Horizon, Ross, didn't you? And,
yeah, it's pretty good. And the Boston Bombing
Patriots
one.
Day, yeah.
Patriot Day.
So yeah, same director, Peter Berg.
Is this his third one?
It's not. No, you're right, because he was supposed to be doing like a tragedy trilogy, wasn't he?
Yeah, I'm going to do 3 movies about people dying. Or did he do one on 9/11? And
No, that wasn't him, was it?
I don't know.
The 9/11 one was the one with
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen. I still really need to see that. He's getting such a hard time from people, rightly so, for that. So look, this movie with this Peter Berg movie with Mark Wahlberg is not the third one of those films.
Right.
It's called Mile 22, and
it's just about the last 4 miles of the Boston Marathon.
No, it's not. It's about a guy. Oh, it's Iko Uwais, the guy from The Raid. Have you seen The Raid?
Yeah.
So the main dude,
the main guy,
the brother. So he's some sort of terrorist, and it's Mark Wahlberg trying to take him down. So it's lots of martial artsy type stuff, and it looks pretty good.
Wahlberg's pretty cool,
and they're fishing apparently for a trailer for a trilogy from this movie.
Right.
So we'll see how that.
Because everything has to be a franchise.
There we go. And the last trailer this evening is for a Spike Lee movie. Do you like Spike Lee?
Yeah, I haven't seen any of his stuff for a while.
Interestingly, this one is a true story. It's called Black Klansman, and it's about the first. And it's John David Washington playing Ron Stallworth, who was the first black cop in Colorado Springs, infiltrating the KKK. And it also
How the hell do you infiltrate the KKK as a black man?
I'll get to that, because it also stars Adam Driver playing Ron Stallworth, the first black cop in Colorado Springs to infiltrate the KKK.
What?
So what they did is the cops using this guy, set up the initial investigation using a telephone. So that he pretended to be white, and then whenever they needed to actually meet anyone in person, they picked a white guy to represent him and to be him.
Right.
And off he went and played his part, which sounds like it could go tragically wrong, doesn't it?
Yep.
So that is out pretty soon. That's going to be a summer movie, I think. Like I say, it's called Black Klansman, and I reckon it's one to watch out for.
Yeah, it'll be good if it's a Spike Lee movie, no doubt.
Right, anyway, that'll do us, won't it?
Yeah, let's wrap this shit up. Yeah.
If you want to catch us doing anything that we do outside of the podcast, please go and have a look at our Facebook page. If you click on the bio there, you'll find loads of links to our stuff. My website, for instance, my music, Ross's Gamers profile, Adam's poetry and art page and stuff. Any other people that we've ever had on the show, all their stuff is linked there too. If you want to be on the show with us, or if you want to write in and tell us about stuff or answer any of our questions that we have on our Facebook page, please do. snewthecrew@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter, Facebook, anywhere where you usually get your podcasts from, and yeah, feel free to leave comments, reviews, all that sort of thing.
Give us a review on iTunes, that would be nice.
That would be wonderful.
Be really nice.
Honourable mentions for Libsyn and Sticher, who of course turned down the roles of Ron Stallworth for Spike Lee's new movie.
Do you want to know something that I'll tell you now? And I've never been able to bring myself to tell you this, or any of you these, but mainly Paul, because Paul used to like doing it. It was his favourite bit of the podcast.
Go on.
Is we only have to mention Sticher. Libsyn just host our podcast. They don't do anything else.
Fair enough. They still deserve an honourable mention.
Do they?
Yeah. Well, we pay them, actually. No, they don't.
That's what I mean.
Stitcher provide
they're supplying us a
free.
service, and whereas Stitcher go just as part of their T's and C's of you hosting your podcast on their services, you have to mention Stitcher.
Which is why we do it every week, folks. There's a peek behind the curtain for you. Okay. I still think, out of habit, we will continue to do honourable mentions for both of them.
Yep.
Right, thanks very much for listening, folks. We should get the hell out of here and go and record another podcast.
Yeah, all right.
Cheers,
Goodbye.
guys. Catch you soon.
Goodbye.
Bye.